All right, guys. So I had a subscriber in Discord request that I do a paper deck. So that's what I'm going to do today. Essentially, a card built around paper. So we'll go check that out. I've titled this one Old Paper, primarily because it's history deck themed. So this is the showcase card here, is paper. It's a 6-drop for 0 power, and it just says use other cards to improve this card. So it doesn't really do much. Obviously, it's just a 0-cost card that we're going to have to try to buff. So paper, though, has a lot of cards specifically that buff just it. So we're going to show those cards first. So as you can see, this card, Latin, your paper card, wherever it is, costs -2 energy permanently. We've got Mary Fields. When returned, your paper card, wherever it is, gains +30 power permanently. So there you go. We're getting a permanent effect now, triggering, making our paper a little bigger. We've got the Printing Press. When drawn, your paper card, wherever it is, gains +30 power permanently. So again, another 30 power we're getting. This one's, when drawn, your paper card, wherever it is, gains +20 power permanently. We've got the Alphabet. When played, your cards in hand gain +5 this turn. And your paper card, wherever it is, gains +20 until played. We also have Orpheus. When returned, your paper card, wherever it is, gains +15 permanently. I think that's all of our paper-specific buffs. So let's take a look at the rest of the deck. I've included the Tapestry, which, when drawn, your history cards, wherever they are, gain +10 power until played, and this card burns 30 until played. So if you can see, I have a lot of history cards in this deck, primarily history, so that's why we've included that card. The Great Wall of China, your cards in hand gain +8 power permanently. Again, just another buffer for our cheap cards and our paper. Hopefully we have paper sitting in our hand. Draw that, we get a buff. Jade Emperor, when returned, if you won the turn, your common, rare, and epic cards, wherever they are, gain +15 power until played. So we do have quite a few of those. You can see starting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of our cards are going to be affected by the Jade Emperor if we can win the turn. So that's good for us. We have Marco Polo. When returned, if you won the turn, your history cards, wherever they are, gain +15 power until played. And if you lost the turn, your arts and culture cards, wherever they are, gain +15. So we do have a couple arts and culture cards. So we definitely want to try to win, or Marco Polo is not going to be as effective for us, but it will still trigger at least 30 power between Ghost and Orpheus. So not the worst, but we do for sure want to try to win the turn anytime we play Marco Polo. Martin Luther King, again, just for the energy gain. He is going to be a slight buffer, too. Sojourning Truth. When returned, your history cards, wherever they are, cost -2 for 2 turns. So, again, primarily history deck, just making everything cheaper for us. Rat King, another buff. Your cards in hand gain +13 power permanently, and this card loses 13 power. So, again, trying to buff our paper if we can. Pocahontas and John Smith. Your history and arts and culture cards in hand gain +15 power this turn. And then if you won the turn, gain +2 energy this round. So that's a good one. We've added this just because of the name paper, so I want to try it out. At the start of the turn, if you're losing the round, this card costs -4 energy this turn. So it could be a nice 1-drop card for us. So we want to make sure we have some cheap 1 and 2 drops in the deck, as usual. We've added Ghost, just for the energy buff. Grand Architect. When played, your arts and culture and history cards in hand gain +10 power this turn. So again, another little buff for our history cards since we have so many of them. And I think I talked about everything, so that's the deck. Let's go try it out. It's going to be a casual game. I mean, paper deck is not a competitive deck, I wouldn't say. So just a casual build. So I wouldn't try to, push leagues too hard with a deck like this. I don't think you'd get tons of wins by any means, but in casual, it can perform fairly decent. So as always, it's a good time to ask if you guys enjoy the content. Please subscribe, shoot me a comment, a like, anything to help support the channel. Looks like round 1, Oceans and Seas. So We're gonna have that Rat King trigger. We got our paper on the draw, so probably not gonna try to play that anytime soon. We're just gonna kind of let it sit there. We'll do it like that. All right, he's got that MLK buff, so he's gonna definitely get the +1 energy off of that. Our ghost is gonna get +2, which is good for us. Puts us up to 9. There's our tapestry trigger. So we probably want to get our Sojourner Truth down so we can start making all our history cards wherever they are cheaper. It's going to help us play the tapestry. So he's only playing 2 cards, so maybe this is an MLK turn. Possibly have a chance to win this. Let's try it. All right, looks like we got that turn, which is good. So we are going to get that +1 that we were hoping. And there's our debuff on the rest of our cards, making everything a little bit cheaper for us. All right, so we're going to get that tapestry down now. Let's go ahead and play the Rat King with it. Hopefully we can maybe secure this. Probably not, but we're going to try at least. Yeah, so he's going to take this turn. Or this round, I'm sorry. That's all right, though. This deck is a later game deck as we try to buff this paper. All right, so we drew our John Smith and Pocahontas, so we want to play that, see if we can take this turn here. If we can, will help us secure Jade Emperor as well. He got it. Unfortunate for us. We really wanted that buff off Jade Emperor. Even the Pocahontas would have gave us some energy for the round, which would have been nice. It's very unfortunate we lost that. All right, we drew our printing press. We saw it buffed paper. So we've got our paper cranes now as a 1-drop, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. Let's get this one down to make paper a little cheaper. And I think I'm going to play paper now. Should be able to get it back. So there's our making our paper cheaper there. There's another buff on paper. All right, so if we play Marco Polo, we want to try to take the turn for sure, so we can maximize it. So let's try to play the most we can. See if we can win this turn. Hopefully the round. All right, so we did win the round, and we won the turn, so Marco Polo will be a good trigger. Buffing all those history cards 15, so that'll be really nice for us going into these later rounds here. All right, so I'm thinking I'm going to play this and buff, because we have a handful of cards that this can buff. So let's go ahead and play that down. I want to play the alphabet. And I kind of want to buff paper again, so let me play this. So once we draw it here shortly, it'll be even bigger. All right, he took a little lead here on us for this start of this round. There's our tapestry. Going to buff our history cards a little bit more. Do it like that. See if I can get that ghost trigger. Good turn for him. Archangel, nice buff there. All right, we're up to 12 on our energy now. Should be good here. That should be pretty good going into these later turns. Ooh, another good turn from him. Set of all sets coming down. So looks like that was just sitting in his hand buffing up everything. I'm surprised he played it. He had a pretty good chance to just win that round without it. All right, there's our paper. So I'm probably going to play it because I want to try to win this turn and trigger both John Smith and Jade Emperor. There we go. So I think we got it. Another nice buff for us there. All right, there's our Marco Polo again, so we want to get him back going so we can again try to win this turn as well. So let's just play our max. I think he got us again on that, so that's unfortunate. Really wanted that buff. All right, so we're in the lead barely, but we need to win this round or the game is over. So let's put our max we can and hope for the best. All right, I think we got it. I'm surprised he only played 2 cards there. Was a little greedy. He had 7 extra energy to play too. It's kind of odd. Why let us win the round? I don't really understand that. But whatever. All right. Our energy's looking good. Good turn for us here. Excuse me. I'm hoping to see paper here shortly. Get one last turn with it. Let's just play our max down. I want to try to just keep the lead here. Going into this final turn, I'm really hoping we draw paper right about now. There it is. For our last turn, paper's looking pretty beasty. All right, so we're just going to go for our max. And hope it's enough. All right, guys. Well, that's the deck. performed really well. It's kind of a later game deck as you're slowly building your paper up. But it's a fun deck. I definitely enjoy it. It's one I would recommend in casual, especially since it's probably on the cheaper end. A lot of those, I only had a few limited legendaries in the deck, and you can really sub those out if you wanted to. There's cards that you could make it more of a budget build if you really wanted to. So I think it's a good shell for that if anybody's looking for a budget deck, or something that's a little bit higher than a budget deck, but not too crazy. Like you saw, a lot of those paper buff cards I think they're limited epic cards, so those aren't necessarily budget, but they're, one step up, I'd say. So nice little middle ground, or kind of building yourself up to a better deck. But all right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate you guys watching.